From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big morning of Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In today's recording, we'll go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we cut to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks are coming to you and the American people under the biggest recon we've ever seen of this generation. We'll go over what these checks mean for you and what are application-based checks as well. Then we, in the final 15 minutes of this video, stay to the very end, and we go over all the incredible details about the number one guy and what he wants to give you under this fourth stimulus recon. It's all deliciousness. And then, in the last few days, you meet some new cast of characters join this channel. Well, today you meet another one, and their names are Wendy and Will Wen. They're from Wentzville, Missouri. And we'll go over what's going on with them. The question is when. When? It's coming up on a big morning's broadcast because the toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and this is Mornings LA. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful morning. Direct from Santa Monica this Labor Day weekend. I'm going to be with you all weekend long. We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of laughs. We have some great information, lots of money, and we're just going to have a lot of great recordings. I'll be taped. I'll be live, hopefully maybe on location as well. So thank you for joining me. In this fourth stimulus check update of 2021, we go over that monthly stimulus check and why the Democrats are likely to give you more months of checks. Then we got to the recon. Done deal, signed, sealed. $3.5 trillion of checks coming to you and the American people, mostly application-based. I'll explain what that means in the second half of this video. The final 15 minutes of this video stay to the very end as we go over the biggest payout we've ever seen and the number one guy for MSC and what he wants to do with these monthly stimulus checks. It's a world exclusive you're only going to see on this channel and only here on LA. And with that, thank you for joining me as we go into a big morning broadcast of LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Live in the morning, taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Morning's Crypto, then noontime at 11 a.m. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you've not signed up for those LA alerts, please do so. Totally free. But over 1,000 of you are still waiting for that confirmation email to be clicked. It looks like this. Make sure you hit that confirmation email, and then you're ready to rock and roll. News.la.com. It's the alert system. Hit that alert, and you're ready to rock and roll. Let's go into those monthly stimulus checks. House versus Senate, Senate versus House. Who wants to give you what and how much? Warren, Wyden, Sanders. Monthly, but not saying how much. Then AOC, Omar, monthly, $2,000, but not saying how many months. Then we have the other options, the House bill, monthly, the House Ways and Means Committee, proposing monthly, but not saying how much. The American Petition, which is Americans like you calling for $2,000, but not saying how many months. And then the one that's captivated a country across the globe has been the House bill. That's $1,000 a month, not $2,000 a month. Only the first month is $2,000. Pandemic plus 1 year. So I think you have an opinion. Vote House or Senate. House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is this beautiful Labor Day weekend. Who gets this fourth stimulus check? You do. Single individual, $75,000 or less. Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less. Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Double it. Family of four. Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or railroad benefits, Democrats represent. You get a fourth stimulus check. The fourth stimulus check is not income. It's not taxable. And the fourth stimulus check will be the same amount for everyone, including adult dependents. Finally, the fourth stimulus check is not a waivable check. So if you're at the beach this weekend, a check runs up to you and starts waving, it's not the check. It's the Euro check. The French check, very friendly, very, very friendly. And if another check walks up to you and kisses you on both cheeks, it's the Italian check. Yeah. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over all the incredible details about this forced stimulus recon, or why this is all going to be generally application-based in addition to stimulus checks. And what application-based means, I'll explain it all in the second half of this video. And then we're going to cut to fist stimulus as well. But first, get a pen and paper ready, because if you turned on broadcast media this morning, what were they doing? The number one story they were reporting was the eviction of Americans across the country happening right now. This person's being evicted, that person's being evicted. But did anywhere in the news story did they tell you how to get the money for rent, utilities, food, internet? Nothing. Nothing. All they're doing is telling you something's happening, which you already knew, that people are being evicted. I'm going to show you how to get this big money right now. So get a pen and paper ready. And here are some of the incredible stories that came in overnight from viewers across this channel. If you have a success story, send it to me on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at private message. Kyra says, thank you, LALATE. I got $17,000. Great job. Valerie, $9,000. Dawn reveals to me she got rent, electric, and gas. She says, heart. Thank you. Heart, smile, smile. Kitty cat. I have no idea what the kitty cat's for, but thank you for the kitty cat. I love some kitty. And then we have some Snap, $400 a month for Deborah. Johnny is our inspiration for several reasons. Number one is he got 7 items. Imagine getting 7 items from third stimulus. What we're going over here in this recording is that 4 stimulus checks are not landing this week. They're not landing next week. They weren't landing last week. What's available right now? This money. Fortunes of it. Not just a few $100s. Anywhere from $10,000 to $105,000 of this money is available right now. It's third stimulus. And Johnny shows us he got 7 items a week ago today, bringing him to $80,000. Would you like $80,000? So get that pen and paper ready. I think you would. Let's go over what Johnny got. Johnny got money for SNAP, $12,000. He got EIDL. He got taxes of $2,000. He got housing from 2 places, $21,000 and $25,000 from another place. And then he got internet and phone, $50 a month, bringing him to a grand total of $80,000. Well, today is your day to get this big money across the board. We can get some rent, utilities, mortgages, and homeowners utilities to start. Get that pen paper ready. And one thing I don't often say in the videos, if you want to hear part of this video and I went through it too quickly for you, you can replay it back after the video airs. Just toggle the button under the video. Let's start with that rent. The rent is a lot of money that viewers are getting, and this is a fortune. And another thing I haven't said lately is that a lot of this money in third stimulus may not repeat under fourth stimulus. So don't assume that just because there's utilities, let's say in third stimulus, that there'll be utilities under fourth stimulus. So let's look at these incredible sums of money. Wow. Viewers are constantly getting over $20,000. Incredible, great news. These are Purple Hawks, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Have you become a member? There's a link under the video. Then we see the numbers for utilities, even higher than before. Johnny getting $9,000 for utilities. So you see the numbers are getting bigger. Why? Because viewers of this channel are getting better at this. And number 3, viewers are now getting 3 items, and they're getting incredible numbers of SNAP. You're going to meet someone in a second who got $25,000 annualized for SNAP, and then the 3 items. It was 1 item a few weeks ago, then it was 3 items, now it's going to 7 items a person. Art Sullivan and Nisi started this. Nisi getting 3 items at $32,000 and Nancy 3 items at $32,000. But Mark, who's on the graphic at 2 items for $32,000, reveals to us 4 incredible stories. Number 1. For 5 days on camera, I told Mark go get SNAP, bringing him to the 3rd item. He got it in 5 days. Shows you that this money is available right now. Fourth stimulus not available this week. This money is available this week. Number 2, he told his friend to watch this channel. If you have a friend and you've gotten money, tell the friend to watch this channel as well. It's a common word of mouth situation that's happening. Mark's friend got $20,000 of rent in less than 5 days from watching this channel. Then we had the same thing happen a week ago. Chanan, Purple Hawk of 2 months, said, I told my friend about you, LA. She went on and now she's addicted to your channel. She got $21,000, her friend, $9,000 for rent, $5,000 for utilities, and $6,000 annualized for SNAP. Dawn got money, Mary got money, Joanne, Becca, Leanne with Crayola got money. Tell your friends to come on over because it really helps. Number 3, Mark realized that I'm not going to stop at 3 items. I'm going to go to more items. And then finally, Mark got that SNAP. How much do you think he got? Mark got $19,000 for SNAP, which brought his grand total on this channel to $50,500. You see that these big numbers are not rare circumstances. It's happening all the time. There is Mark. And guess what? Lorraine got over $100,000 from this channel as well, because this is what we do. This is LA. In April last year, I launched this channel because people had applied for the EIDL loan and EIDL grant under first stimulus and were not getting approved. They were stuck in what I called the 330, the 331, and the 48 vortex. Day after day, week after week, I did their applications on air and off air, getting them $25 million of EIDL loans approved, saving their employees' homes, their businesses, and also their own homes. 3 days later, something was about to go live. On April 25th, I launched this channel detailing what was about to go live on April 28th. We thought it was going to go live in every state. Unfortunately, it didn't. Only California and a few other states went live with it. States like Florida were delayed several months, but it was a very, very confusing application. So I showed viewers day after day, hour after hour, how to do this very confusing application and got them the money. Eileen Bellicap out of Florida got $15,000 for this. What it was, this confusing application? The PUA application. No one had ever heard of it until the channel started recording videos about it. Then, in fall of 2020, second stimulus is not coming, just like now. Fourth stimulus is not coming this week. Second stimulus wasn't coming then. I said you needed money for the holidays. So I stepped forward and I got viewers $250,000 for rent, and you killed it. You got big sums of money, like Tyrone and his family for out of Boston getting $15,000, $16,000 for rent. And there you go. So let's turn to this big money for money right now. We can get some money for you starting this moment. It's money for rent, utilities, mortgages, and homeowners utilities. It's available right now, this week, today. Fourth stimulus not coming this week. This money is available this week. Would you like $30,000 to $100,000? I think you would. So get that pen and paper ready. Here are the introductory remarks. Number one, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to, so reach out to all 6. If the first one says no, don't worry, reach out to the next one. They have different eligibility. Number 2, they also have their own pots of money. Number 3, listen to the keywords I say in this video. It helps people get approved. And number 4, push, 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 because every state was given the same amount of money based upon the number of residents in that state. Here you go. These are the 6 places you're going to reach out to. Your city hall, your city housing authority. Your county hall, your county housing authority. Your state hall and your state housing authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. You can do this. Pick up the phone. I have confidence in you. And congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful pot of money. If you got this money as well, post in the live chat right now. Now, SNAP is a lot of money. It's from Department of Agriculture. What is it for? For food, because you got to eat, because otherwise you're dead. Food. And how much does it pay? It pays a fortune. Early in this video, you met Mark, who got $19,000 for SNAP. He's now going to be getting $25,000 a year for SNAP. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, for his son and mom, and Gail got as well. Well, what's happened? Last Monday, not this Monday, but the Monday before that, Department of Agriculture announced that everyone's benefits are going up an average of 25%, not just next year, lifetime, an average of 25%, nationwide, automatically starting October. It's incredible, great news. If you got money for SNAP as well, post in the live chat right now. The next money coming back to you is the refund check from your state due to overpaying a computer error. One viewer got $3,000, another viewer got $5,000. It's automatic to get it. But how do you track it? Reach out to your state for that information. And guess what? This week, Microsoft announced that the Windows 10 operating system is now getting upgraded to Windows 11. So that's good news for the federal government, which ordered the state to upgrade the computers running Windows 10. Not Windows 10, Windows 1910. You know when they had to rub sticks together to create fire to turn on the computer? And the last spot of the money is the refund check coming back from IRS for that 2020 unemployment benefits you paid taxes on. Incredible details across the board because guess what? It's a refund check somewhere between $1,200 to $2,000. Margaret got it, Todd got it, Michael got it. But first, here's a personal message from me to you. This channel was launched for me to help get you money. And it's important that you help other people as well. So jump in the live chat and post your success stories for rent, utilities, food, and more that you got from this channel. Because when you do it, you inspire other people. Number one, people just need that encouragement to pick up the phone and do it. You've picked up the phone and called the utility company and say, hey, the water is off, or there's a gas leak, or the electric power is off. You can certainly call them up and ask for money. You can do this. Number two, it's important to understand that this channel was launched at a time in which April of last year, I saw a lot of other people talking about second stimulus checks. I wasn't covering it just yet. And they were talking about the date and the check and the date and the check. And I said, wait a second. You should never, ever be financially dependent upon the arrival of one item. I don't care what that item is. That's not how you live your life. You cannot be dependent upon whether the HEROES Act of May 2020 is passed in May and that it gives you a stimulus check and that check comes in May, because it may not come in May. Guess what? It never came in May. And a lot of people were set up incorrectly by other places, other broadcasters, other channels, to focus on just one payment, and it never came in May. When I came on the scene, I said, no, we're not doing this anymore. We're getting the big sums of money available for you right now. And that's why Purple Hawks viewers of this channel are doing so well, because financial independence starts with getting these big sums of money. They're not a few $100s. They're a lot of money that helps alleviate the bill strain on the household and gives you the independence when $20, $30, $40, $50, $100,000 of money for rent, utilities is paid by the federal government. The federal government wants to pay for that money. And let's meet Freedom Frida. We met her yesterday. She's freedom of speech Frida, and she walks around with a hoard of cash in her hand, and she has freedom of speech, according to her, to say fake facts. Well, we don't really care about her fake facts. But one of her fake facts is, why talk about third stimulus? Where is the fourth stimulus check? Because the fourth stimulus check's not landing next week. But this money is. A lot of it. And so post your success story in the live chat. You inspire so many people. Finally, that refund check from IRS. Where is it landing? Direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. Can you track it? Yeah, go to irs.gov and do a transcript search. And 70% of the time, it will work. It'll reveal the refund check you're getting, the taxes you pay, the tax return you filed, and the fan club for Joe Manchin. There was one? No, there's a, yeah. And can we top that? Yes, as we go into the second part of this video. Done deal, signed, sealed. A $3.5 trillion recon has passed. This is huge. This is very huge. A fourth stimulus recon, $3.5 trillion has passed. Meaning, one, there'll be a recon. Number two, it'll be $3.5 trillion. And number three, it'll be all checks for you, the American people. Now, this recon is incredibly big because the previous stimulus packages were this big at 90%, 80% for corporations. This is all for you. All massive checks, guaranteed, signed, sealed. More about how these checks work in the final 15 minutes of this video. Stay to the very end. But let's go over how we got to the spot, because this is very important. By taking roads and bridges out of the recon and putting it into something called the bipartisan. What is the bipartisan? Let's go over all the details starting right now. The higher the price tag was on the recon, the harder it was to pass beforehand. For a conservative publication confirms my reporting. By allowing the Democrats to take out some of the spending from the recon, roads and bridges put in the bipartisan, the overall price tag of the recon got smaller. In other words, the bipartisan deal made the recon passable. Now, there's a reason why you watch this channel, is because the way I deliver news is before it breaks. I deliver news hours, weeks, or in some cases, months before it happens. And in the month of July and the month of June, I told you that the Democrats were going to pass a recon. Now, here's one thing I'm explaining for the first time a little bit clear on Mornings LALATE. The way legislators pass laws is they first caucus among themselves. What does caucus means? It literally means you go to someone's office, say, hey, George, what do you think? Hey, Nancy, what do you think? And they caucus among themselves. They talk. Once they agree upon how to do something verbally, chatting amongst each other in their offices, then they write, and then they vote. Now, later in this video, you're going to meet wonderful, wonderful Wendy Wen. And Wendy Wen wants to ask questions about when's the bill, when's the vote, when's the bill, when's the vote. That's not how legislators work. First thing they do is they agree upon something. Once they agree upon it by chatting amongst themselves, then they just write what they agreed upon, and then they call the vote on something they already agreed upon. That's what happened with the recon substantive, the recon procedural. The Democratic caucus had met in the month of July and June to agree upon a $3.5 trillion recon, that they would do one, and that would be the price tag. And that was the agreement. So that when they called for a vote in August, it was a done deal. That's why you stay with this channel for the news before it breaks. And that's why Representative Ilhan Omar and Representative Richie Torres, he's New York, she's Minnesota, both Democrats, both progressives, had said before the whole process, we need a recon that goes as big as balls we wanted, a larger recon. And they got it, $3.5 trillion, before they even called the vote. And after everyone had agreed upon the price tag, that's why the president told Jolapal and Brian Schatz, both Democrats and progressives, protect my recon, because everything in that recon is all checks for the American people. He meant protect it, make sure it gets to that vote, and it did pass. So let's go over what a recon procedural is, what a recon substantive is, what a bipartisan is, starting right now. It's important to understand that the tow truck has passed over the finish line. That is the recon procedural. Now time to pick up the tow hitch, which is the recon substantive. Let's go over the two paths that are at hand, recon and bipartisan. Very, very different items. One concerns you, one doesn't concern you. So recon is your money, also called reconciliation, also called the budget bill, also called the Democratic spending plan or the Progressive Social Reform Plan, price tag $3.5 trillion. Bipartisan, not your money, also called infrastructure or roads and bridges. So we had 3 bills to do as of last week. Now we only have 2 bills. Someone yesterday asked me, is there a 3-step process for the recon? No, that's 3 bills. We had 3 bills to do. Recon procedural, done. Now we're on recon substantive, which we had started weeks before, but we're now focusing only on it. And bipartisan. Let's go over the difference between recon procedural and recon substantive. And this is something I want to sort of highlight at this part of this recording for the first time ever on Mornings LA, is when you look at recon procedural, you understand what's going on here. $3.5 trillion of checks, and that money being dispersed among committees. Notice the word is committees. It's not IRS or Department of Treasury. There's no $3.5 trillion given to Treasury to send out a check to you from IRS. It's given to committees. So then recon substantive then asks, okay, now that the committees have the money, how are they going to spend the money? This is the terms and conditions. And we'll go over more about that in the final 15 minutes of this video. But how do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to this wonderful spot from Jalapal, who wrote Schindler letter saying, chuck all the vote on the recon. And that letter was signed by 12 House Democrats, part of 100 plus, who recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're putting monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Can we top that? Yes. As 7 members of that House Ways and Means Committee recently wrote the president a letter saying, we're doing monthly forced stimulus checks in the forced stimulus recon. Well, you got to push purple power and make sure they keep their promise. Now, here's what you need to know is that they never said the number of checks, and they never said the amount of the check or the number of months. It's much like Warren, Wyden, and Sanders, who I'm getting to later in the final 15 minutes of the video. They said monthly, but they never said the amount nor the number of months. And then over on the House side, remember that the House bill is $1,000 a month. It is not $2,000 a month. Only the first month is $2,000. Pandemic plus 1 year. So push purple power, push, push, push. And how do we get to this wonderful spot? From Biden, who took the global minimum corporate tax rate out of the recon. What is that thing? You don't really need to know what it is. It's just a confusing thing. It's now out of there. And can we top that? Yes. In the final 15 minutes of this video, we go over the world exclusive, only heard on this channel, and new details you're seeing for the first time on Mornings LA. We're going to go over the push by the #1 guy on the budget who wants you to have an MSC. We'll go over calculation about the payments. We'll go over how this sort of mirrors what we were talking about a month ago. It's all incredible great news. We'll go over what application-based stimulus is. And then we'll meet the newest faces, Wendy and Will Wen. When? After the break. But first, if you need help with rent, utilities, food, or internet, and you've got on one item, but you need help with the other items, here's a little bit about them. Here's the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds as Mornings LA continues. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica. on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the final 15 minutes of this video on Mornings LA, live from Santa Monica this Labor Day weekend. We're going to have a lot of fun all weekend long, so join me. We're doing a lot of fun shows, a lot of informative shows, and a lot of moolah. And we'll meet a lot of new cast of characters in this fourth stimulus check update of 2021. We're going to go over the MSCs, the monthly stimulus checks, and a calculation, and a major push in the second half of this video. We'll go over quickly fifth stimulus, and then we'll go over application-based stimulus and what that means for you. And then we'll meet the wonderful new cast members from this channel. Wendy and Will Wen of Wensville, Missouri. So much happening. When is it happening? It's happening now. So stop asking me. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button. When? Now. Hit the button now. Like the video. 2,000-3,000 likes. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. Meantime, if you've not signed up for those LA alerts, please do so. People are loving it. I love them because when anything really, really important happens, I send you a message. And of course, you do not miss a single video because you can't miss videos across the board. Let's cut quickly into fifth stimulus for just a second and go over what's happening with that. That raises your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI, and then applies a new benchmark, removes the asset cap, removes the income exclusion, and removes the marriage penalty. Step one is going to raise your benefits up a lifetime. When do they start drafting this? September, out for a vote about November. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Let's say it's 5%. That means your benefits would step up another 5% in lifetime. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in the hand. It's going to go away. Remove the income cap, dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interest like Rob and Sandy. And there you go. Will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be. Finally, it's important to understand why have you not become a Purple Hawk. If you're on the live chat and you don't have an emoji of a Purple Hawk next to your name, you need to do so right now. Purple Hawks are delivered daily from me to them via the YouTube alert system and the LALATE alert system, a breakdown of all the big money available for them under first, second, and third stimulus, and what's proposed under fourth and fifth. That's how Purple Hawks are daily from this channel, getting 10, 20, 30, upwards of $100,000 from this channel. $20,000 of rent, a regular occurrence. You need the money, go get the money. This is money available right now. It's not fourth stimulus, it's third stimulus money. And here's what happened, was that as soon as third stimulus launched in January of this year and became a law, I launched Purple Hawks. I said, yeah, there's a $14 stimulus check, but I can get you $14,000 under this third stimulus. Now you see I've been able to get people a lot more money, and you're doing better by the minute. And let's bring in freedom of speech Frida on this one. So freedom of speech Frida, who just walks around the supermarket with hordes of cash in her hand, says, why are we talking about third stimulus? This is fourth stimulus. Because guess what? Fourth stimulus is not giving you hordes of cash to put in your hand and give you a strange eyebrow twist this week. Third stimulus is. So if you want to walk around the supermarket with hordes of cash like Freedom Frida, then it's third stimulus today. Third stimulus money is available right now. And guess what? I mean, no one would have really thought that when third stimulus passed in January, that the money would still be paying out in September. That's really great news. So when fourth stimulus becomes law, we'll be focused on getting every single penny of that as well. So consider becoming a Purple Hawk today. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video, starting right now. Deal done, sign the seal. A $3.5 trillion recon has passed procedure, which means that 1, there'll be a recon. 2, it'll be $3.5 trillion. And 3, it'll be all application-based checks generally for you. More about the stimulus checks from IRS in a second. But these stimulus checks come from committees. You saw earlier in the graphic where I showed you committees are given parts of the $3.5 trillion. What are these committees? Like, for example, a committee for your teeth, dental, or vision, or hearing, or internet. IRS doesn't know anything about internet or know anything about your teeth or your vision or anything like that. So they would never know how to pay you for that money. That's why the money is given to the committees. Let's go over an example of what's proposed for that fourth stimulus recon, just proposals, for you to understand how this would work out and how this would play out. So checks for farmers, checks for free internet, checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for seniors like dental, checks for vision, checks for hearing, checks for lowering eligibility age, checks for free school meals for all, checks for tax breaks, checks for cheaper prescription medication, and more. So you see, in those subject matters, those are things that IRS would never have that money for you. They don't know anything about your internet. And that's why it would be in the committee level. So how does this work? Basically, you would pick up the phone and call them and say, I want this money, I qualify. Not like you fill out a 50-page application and wait 20 years to get approved. No, no, no. It means that the money is in different committees for you to get that money across the board. That's application-based. As you saw earlier in this video, Johnny inspired us to go from getting 3 items on the third stimulus to getting 7 items. And so if you've picked up the phone once and gotten $100 for utilities under third stimulus or second stimulus, you're going to kill it under fourth stimulus, because there's going to be a lot of different checks, stimulus checks for you to get of big sums of money, because of a bigger stimulus package, all for the American people, unlike previous ones for corporations. And you're going to kill it because all that money is in there for you to get. All right, now let's turn to the stimulus check that comes from IRS. And let's go over the world exclusive you're only hearing on this channel. Now, over the last few months, the broadcast media channels that own a lot of local affiliate stations across the country, 100, 200 local affiliate stations, have done the following. They never picked up the phone and called your elected officials asking them, are you doing a stimulus check? Are you doing a monthly stimulus check? They never picked up the phone. Rather, they ran the story that says, I haven't heard from them mention it, hence it must not exist. It's sort of like saying, I haven't seen the end of planet Earth, it must be flat. I haven't seen the end of the Earth, it must be flat because I haven't seen it. Well, wait a second. If you don't know, you don't ask. That doesn't make sense. And that's why this channel is making the difference. About 2 weeks ago, a viewer of this channel, WR, picked up the phone and called his senator. Why did he do it? Because that's what I was telling you to do. I said, pick up the phone and call people and speak with them, which is a lot more than just sending them a tweet in 12 seconds. Called the phone and spoke to Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, and Joe Biden's oldest confidant, about the stimulus check. Spoke to Chris Coons' staffer. And what did the staffers say? Yes, Senator Coons, Chris Coons, is going to be proposing a monthly stimulus check. Well, there you go. Do you think someone had thought to pick up the phone and ask? Now, what happened going into last weekend? Last weekend, I told you the importance of one particular guy. Why did I mention him specifically? When we talk about the recon, the actual name of the recon is the Reconciliation Budget Bill, or the Fourth Stimulus Reconciliation Budget Bill. Notice the word budget. What committee in the Senate oversees this budget bill? The Budget Committee. A little bit obvious there. Yeah, the Budget Committee oversees the budget bill. And who on the Budget Committee is the head of the Budget Committee? The Budget Chairman. Oh my goodness, this is so obvious. The Budget Chairman, the Budget Bill, and the Budget Bill. I got it. Okay. And who is the Budget Chairman? Bernie Budget Sanders is the Budget Chairman of the Budget Committee of the Budget Bill. Yeah, this is very obvious. Yeah, it's very obvious. So what happened going into last weekend? I said, pick up the phone, call him. Why did I say that? Because he told you to do that. Oh, some things are so obvious. Going into the weekend, Bernie Sanders last weekend said prior budget chairman just sort of did things in D.C., but I like to get out amongst the people to hear from them. What does that mean? Translation means he wants to hear from you. He wants to hear your input. Now, do you think the broadcast media picked up the phone and called him? Of course not. They did not. Yeah, no. So who called from this channel last weekend? Well, Lynn Glenn called for this channel last weekend. And Brother Joshua, longtime viewer and former volunteer from 2020, picked up the phone and called Bernie Sanders' office to speak about the MSC, the monthly stimulus check. And you know what they said? Number one, Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing to do a monthly stimulus check. Well, there you go. Do you think someone had thought in broadcast media with 500 local stations across the country to pick up the phone and ask the budget chairman of the budget committee that does the budget bill that question? No, they never did. They never did. How long did it take us to get an answer? 10 seconds. 10 seconds. So Senator Bernie Sanders is proposing a monthly stimulus check. Great news. So let's go over the provisions that the staffer told Brother Joshua. Number one, monthly stimulus check. Yes. Number two, $1,000 to $1,400 a month. Yes, great news. And then duration 3 to 6 months. Yes, great news. But there was a catch that Bernie Sanders indicated. He wants support from the American people to make sure you're supporting him on this before he does it. Well, this is what we got, Purple Power. This is what we do. We push, push, push. We know how to support people. We got this one. This is great news. Now, let me go over some analysis you're seeing for the first time on Mornings LALATE starting right now. If you remember back about a month ago, we would compare Senate and House a lot on the two different approaches, a House bill versus a Senate proposal. And there was a clear difference between the two. The senators were looking to spend more money per month, quicker, less months, which would get you a faster cash infusion up front. But overall time, it would be less money from this compared to the House members who would pay you $1,000 a month, which was less, over a longer duration. And that's why we always said House versus Senate, Senate versus House. Well, let's look at the high end of Bernie Sanders' number and compare it to the House bill, the high end. $1,400 times 6 months, that's almost $9,000. That's almost $9,000. The House bill, about $13,000. $13,000 versus $9,000. But the difference is Bernie's is on the high end 6 months. The House bill on the other side is 12 months. So less money from the Senate, but you get it faster with faster cash infusion than the House that takes over a year to get it. House of Senate votes in live chat right now. Now, let's go over some details as well about this. There were some people who I saw on Twitter over the last few days who said the following. They were tagging people and tagging LALATE. You need to do, this is what they said, you need to do the House bill of $2,000 a month for a year. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. That was not the House bill. I even saw that comment this morning on, I think it was Overnight's LA. That was not the House bill. It was never $2,000 a month for a year. It was $2,000 the first month and $1,000 thereafter. Don't act like you don't know what the House bill was. I've only said it 1,000 times on this channel. $1,000 a month after the first month, that was $2,000. There's a big difference on that. You're trying to make a pitch for $24,000 of stimulus checks a year. No one ever proposed among any proposals or the bills $24,000 of stimulus checks. So you can propose what you want to propose, but that was never what anyone in this group ever said. Except maybe freedom of speech, Frida. She likes those fake facts. Yeah, let me just have $5,000 a month stimulus checks. Yeah, I heard that somewhere. Yeah, it's freedom of speech. I can just say fake facts wherever I want to say them. So please don't say there's a House bill out there at $2,000 a month, because it was not $2,000 a month. Then I want to introduce you to our newest cast member. I'm very excited to introduce you to them. You know, over the last few days, you met other cast members. Let's recap. Let's recap who their names were. We first met Calendar Colleen, because guess what? It's September. That's what she always had to tell us. She's always counting the days and telling us it's September. Whenever we're talking about stimulus, she only has the one expression, it's September. It doesn't really help the Purple Power community, because all she does is sort of repeat herself. It's September. Yeah, we know Calendar Colleen. Doesn't really help us. Now, you were asking me if she had any dates with anyone. Yes, she's penciled in dates with this guy. And he's Calendar Cod with a strange eyebrow thing he does. There he goes. What does he say? He says, whatever happened July, whatever happened July 4th, whatever happened August, whatever happened July. He looks backwards. Doesn't really help us either at all, because all he does is talk about the past. He doesn't talk about the future or the present. Whatever happened July, whatever happened August. And then we met Freedom of Speech Frida. She just loves her fake facts. Nancy gave herself a raise. No, she didn't. She gave the staff a raise. They're out of town. They're not out of town. They're in town. They're not working on anything. Yeah, Ron Wyden all week long said they're drafting they're working on the terms and conditions of the recon. And that's what Chuck Schumer and also the wonderful Bernie Sanders said. So today I introduce you to our newest cast member. Are you ready? Here they are. It's Wendy Wen and her husband Will Wen. And where they live in? They live in Wentzville, Missouri. It's Wendy Wen. You know Wendy Wen. You've seen her in the comments. You know exactly what Wendy Wen says. The House bill, when? The voting, when? Back in town, when? Calling the vote, when? The bill released to us to see it, when? The checks in our account, when? Nancy arriving for $12 ice cream, when? It's just, she ever says is when. It's a little exhausting. I tried to go to have lunch with her once, but it was too difficult. I went to have lunch with her, and the waiter came over and said, "Oh, hello. Can I start you with some drinks?" "When?" she said. He said, "Now." "When?" He says, "Well, can I go over the options of what the menu is?" "When?" "Right now, Miss Wen." She just has to say when to everything. When. Yeah, she did it again. So there she is. That's Wendy Wen and her husband, Will Wen. So guess what? Coming up next on LALATE is Morning's Crypto. When? It's coming up next. I just told you, Wendy. Stop asking me. And then noontime LALATE at 11 a.m. When? 11 a.m. When? Which is after 10 a.m. Is it September? It is September. So subscribe. Can you subscribe now, Wendy, please? Like this video. When? Like right now, Wendy. Hit the like button now. And consider becoming a member. When? Right now. Whatever happened in July. You should have subscribed in July. That's what should have happened in July. So consider becoming a member. Subscribe and wave at Wendy if you see her at the market with freedom of Frida. And I'll see you next at Morning's Crypto.